I spent 15 years in love with someone who was never real.
Not in the ghost story way. Not in the catfish way. Worse. I made him up without even realizing it. See, my whole life, I was close friends with two brothers, Jake and Ethan. Jake was the loud one, the center of attention, always cracking jokes, filling every silence. Ethan? He was the quiet one, Jake's shadow. As a kid, I never really got to know Ethan. Jake did all the talking. Ethan just followed, silently, politely. But there were rare, fleeting moments where I felt like Ethan and I connected. Like when Jake said something dumb and Ethan's eyes met mine, and I just knew he agreed. Or when we walked together, and I noticed Ethan stepping over cracks in the sidewalk. I started doing it too. That's how it began. Tiny, quiet moments that felt like secrets only the two of us shared. Moments that my imagination took and ran with. I started to wonder who Ethan really was when Jake wasn't around. I imagined him singing alone in his room, letting out all the sound he held in around others. I imagined he kept track of weird little rituals in a secret diary, maybe the one I spotted once on his bedside table. I noticed a seashell beside it. Was it from a memory? A person? I wanted to know. As we got older, Jake and Ethan stopped living together. But the three of us still hung out, always together. I never had Ethan to myself. I wanted to. I wanted to see who he was without Jake constantly filling the air. But I never found a good reason. It would have been weird, right? Hey, Ethan, just you and me? Jake would have raised an eyebrow. And would Ethan even show? Then Jake got married. And for the first time, he was gone. Honeymoon. So I invited Ethan out for drinks. Just us. After 15 years of guessing, I was finally going to see the real him. And I did. But not in the way I'd hoped. Ethan was rude. He complained loudly about the bartender, loud enough for the bartender to hear. He whined about the table being sticky. He told me stories so boring I barely follow them. I asked about the design on his shirt. It looked cool. He shrugged and said, "Oh, it was on sale." Didn't care. Didn't even seem to know what was on it. I tried asking about what he was watching, reading, listening to. Nothing. The silence between us wasn't thoughtful. It was empty. Jake wasn't there to fill the gaps anymore, and Ethan had nothing to say. And then he made a joke. One joke. And it was low-key racist. I sat there realizing the mystery wasn't depth. The silence wasn't meaning. It was just a lack. I thought about the photos I'd seen on Facebook. His profile was always blank. Every post, every tag, he was just there, never doing anything, never being anyone. The cracks he stepped over on the sidewalk? Coincidence. The diary I imagined? A school notebook. The shell? Probably just a decoration. I spent 15 years building a version of Ethan that never existed. The truth? He's not mysterious. He's just quiet. And sometimes quiet doesn't mean deep. Sometimes it just means there's nothing there. Some people aren't shadows of something deeper. They're just shadows.